Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. I got a question. Why does America have a problem with burying its dead, with allowing winners to be winners and losers to just deal with their fate accordingly? Since the beginning of time, they always say the victors write the stories, right? So if that's the case, and we're talking about the Civil War, why is it that the Union has allowed for all these years for the Confederate Army or Confederate States to still linger around? And there's a belief that it's done, there's a racial motivation behind it. And I'm one to believe that, just like a lot of people believe it, because it makes no sense that I grew up in Texas, Dallas specifically, and went to elementary school called John Runyon, which can't really find a lot of history about him, but I believe he was a Confederate general or a soldier. He was in the Confederate Army because the mascot is the running rebels. And we know what rebels are, right? Confederate, soldiers or whatever. There's also a school my homeboy went to, John B. Hood. He was a Confederate general. You have statues in the South that, that they've started to take them down, the last few years. I remember visiting New Orleans a few years ago, and I remember taking a picture in front of one of the Confederate statues that they eventually took down maybe like a couple of years ago. So, you have streets, they're just, like I say, streets, schools, statues, all these things that are still around, being erected and been around for generations now. If you want to go to a history lesson, amazingly, these Confederate symbols, the Confederate flags on on certain state flags, that these symbols, like the statues and stuff in school, were like created back in the 1900s, not even maybe 50, 60, I'm gonna say not even 100 years ago, way after the Civil War had ended. So when you look in history, you can go all the way back to the scriptures, that when lands are conquered, people lose wars, all the history is like wiped out for the most part. The only thing we know is that you got destroyed and that's it. You're no longer viable. But for some reason in this modern day and age, America allows the Confederate to still live on. We're not understanding that. I do know, we know why, and we get it. It's just racism still there. You still kind of want to keep your thumb on Black Americans just to let them know, like, hey, don't get too uppity. Like, we may have lost the war, but you Black Americans will never win. Again, let me say it again. They may have lost, but us, we will not win. And this story is a prime example. Let's get into it. This is from AL.com, and it reads, Juneteenth, or Jefferson Davis's birthday, Alabama bill will give state employees a holiday choice. Now, how do I feel about Juneteenth being celebrated across the nation? I could care less, because to me personally, it's a Texas thing. We've been doing it forever. Didn't need Biden, who said that if you didn't vote for him, you wasn't black, bull crap. Didn't need him to make it to a federal holiday. Shout out and respect to Sister Elder Opal Lee, who was, they call her godmother or grandmother of the Juneteenth bill holiday. I think she walked to DC or Austin or wherever for years and just pushed for this to become a federal holiday, which is fine. It won't be a federal holiday. That's great. I'll take it, be able to get off work and, get paid for it. Well, depends on where you work at, but shoot, like I said, I'll take it. It don't matter. But personally, I could care. If y'all want to celebrate Juneteenth around the country, that's great. I think each state should celebrate the date that the slaves in their own state were freed, because they try to use Texas saying, okay, this is when the last state, when it's the last, slave got freed on paper. And so now everybody's free. I get it. I understand it. So be it. If you want to celebrate, acknowledge it, it's fine. But like I said, I could care less if any other state do it, because we've been doing it forever. So it doesn't matter. But but it has got to a point to where Alabama is just showing their true bigotry once again. But let's get into the article or the story. It says, an Alabama House bill would allow state employees to commemorate Juneteenth with one condition. Amazing. HB 367, sponsored by Chris Sales, representative, or was that Republican of Greenville, would add the June 19th holiday, which celebrates the end of slavery, to the current list of 13 days Alabama officials celebrates and offers the day off for state employees. But Juneteenth would not be an additional day off. Instead, state employees would be able to take the day off or Jefferson Davis's birthday, a state holiday marked on the first Monday in June. Okay. Right off the bat, you see this is all about separatism in Alabama. But this is along racial lines. I don't care how he's going to word it, how he's going to explain it. It's about racial lines, because what Black American in their right mind, if given a choice to celebrate Juneteenth or Jefferson Davis, would take Jefferson Davis's day? Why would you do that? Jefferson Davis was a Confederate general who lost. I'm sorry, you lost. Your name should not even be nowhere in reference in public except in history books, stating that you tried to secede from the Union and you lost. But thanks to the Union states, the South continues to be on public display. The Confederate continues to be on public display with no shame at all. They say, you know what? We feel this, the way I look at it is, you know what? We feel the same way you feel. We don't want the Black people to actually think that they can walk around and be uppity, can thumb their nose at you, look at you any different, because although you lost, you are still one of us, and they are not. We don't want them to get no idea, so erect your statues. Create your schools with Confederate names, Confederate generals. Do as you please, but you ain't going nowhere. Because remember, Abraham Lincoln said that if he could maintain slavery and to keep the Union as one, keep the United States as a union, he would. He said, but the only reason why that he had to get rid of slavery was because it was destroying the country that he ran. So there's your problem. So yeah, so it does make sense that, after the Civil War is over, and years after the Civil War is over, and I guess Black folks trying to get rights and all that kind of stuff, they just say, hey, go and put your statues up. Let these Negroes remind them of who was actually running things. It ain't the North, it ain't the South, it's them folk. So let's continue. Let's say what it say. But Juneteenth would not be an additional day off. Yeah, like I say, so any Black person in their right mind would not pick Jefferson Davis unless you are one of them old Negroes who are afraid to speak your mind, or even afraid to back the truth and honesty. You're afraid to do that because you don't want to hurt. Well, not necessarily. You don't want to ruffle the feathers of them folk. Now, them people, they might pick Jefferson Davis holiday because they be like, hey, Jefferson Davis holiday been around since I was little, and I'm not going to change. Well, that's your reasoning. Then you can go on to hell with gasoline draws on. But anyway, let's continue. Quote, I wanted to do it in a way without giving another paid holiday, Sales said in an interview on Monday. State employees, I think, already get 13 paid holidays, and I think that is plenty. I don't want to go another 14th day. Dude, is this coming out of your paycheck? Like I said, you can explain all you want to, but you can't tell me this ain't rooted in racism. Davis's birthday is one of 3 state holidays Alabama has honoring the Confederacy, a white supremacist government formed to defend slavery. Davis, a Mississippi resident, was a slaveholder and a racist who called Black Americans fitted expressly for servitude. So he lived in Mississippi. So why the heck Alabama? Well, I think, wasn't he like the president of the Confederacy, if I ain't mistaken? That's what I'm thinking. I think he was and that makes it even worse. The state marks Confederate Memorial Day on the 4th Monday of April, which just passed, a couple weeks ago. The state marks Robert E. Lee's birthday on the 3rd Monday in January, the same day as Martin Luther King Jr. I think I did a story about that. I just did this because there are several bills floating around in my committee to make Juneteenth a permanent holiday, and I wanted to do it in a way without giving another paid holiday, Sales said in an interview on Monday. Alabama Democrats have pushed in recent years to make Juneteenth an official holiday. During the 2023 session, Representative Lord Hall, Democrat of Huntsville, proposed a measure that added Juneteenth without affecting other federal holidays. Representative Chris England, Democrat of Tuscaloosa, introduced a bill to replace Davis's birthday with Juneteenth as an official holiday. Again, I don't even know why you even got these Confederate days. Anyway, that's you know what? That's what should be abolished. You politicians, you quote unquote Democrats, and for the people and for the Black people, what have you. That should be one of the top issues on your agenda, is to get rid of all schools. Well, let's start with holidays. Let's start and with the schools and or any kind of public buildings and any kind of public statues that display, honor, or even mention anything that has to do with the Confederate. Anything. Like I say, losers don't get statues. I don't know anywhere where you'll see a loser get a statue erected. Now they will erect statues of fake people like Rocky Balboa, but losers getting statues, man, tell me where they do that at. Besides, when somebody in the hood gets shot up early in life and they paint a mural on the side of the building talking about rest in peace, and the dude was a gangbanger or a drug dealer or didn't do nothing for the community, and they put him up and they put a rest in peace and put his picture on the wall. That's the only time. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why we do it, because shoot, them folk do it so we can do it too. I don't know. They said, I obviously don't think we should celebrate Jefferson Davis, England said in an interview Monday. I don't think we should give people the option to celebrate Jefferson Davis. England, who said he is considering whether to support Sales' bill, also cites Davis's tenuous connection to Alabama. Outside the 3 months of the Confederate government operated in Montgomery, Davis never lived in the state. That is crazy. That is crazy. Cause like I say about John Runyon, I don't know from what I've read about John Runyon, that dude's from Kentucky. John B. Hood, I don't think he was in Texas either, but somehow these cats got schools in Dallas, Texas. England, I already did that. I just don't understand why Alabama continues to let the dead bury the living. Wow, I like that. I like that quote. And won't make any progress beyond celebrating individuals that don't deserve any real sort of positive recognition, he said. Representative Rick, let me tell you something. People, we all had this belief that when the older people died and all this relics, all this stuff will go away. But it's not true, because you know why? It's because the people that lived during the Civil War, they're all dead. Their family, their ancestors are still living. Those who still think like them are still around, are born every day and are taught every day how to be bigots and racists. Those people would not allow the Confederate to die. So even if the old people in their hundreds, in the late 90s, hundreds, whose families probably were sharecroppers, or whose parents and grandparents, probably hated black people and probably strung up a few of them in their time and lynched a few of them in their time, them folks ain't gonna let it die because they done taught their kids and grandkids and great grandkids the same bullcorn that's been around forever. So no, it will not go away if you think that these people die, because you cannot kill an idea. You can kill the person. The person can die, but the idea and ideology and beliefs will not. So what you have to do is create laws and understandings that, hey, we're just gonna get rid of this mess, because y'all lost. Period. Because I guarantee you, if the Confederates would have won, stuff about the Union, oh man, all they stuff, you wouldn't see no Abraham Lincoln School, Abraham Lincoln University. Boy, you don't see Abraham Lincoln University now, but you still would do. Yes, yeah, it's Lincoln University. That's right. But you won't see stuff like that. No, they would have. Should the bill pass and be signed by the governor, Alabama would be one of 26 other states in the country recognizing Juneteenth as an official state holiday through legislation. The governors of Alabama and West Virginia have recognized the holiday, but no legislation makes it official. In California, state employees may observe the holiday in lieu of personal holiday, while in North Carolina, some state workers may elect to take it off as a floating holiday. President Joe Biden signed legislation in 2021 declaring Juneteenth a federal holiday. See, my problem with that whole thing is, y'all, like I said, they're going to make sure that Black Americans have no equality with them. And it doesn't matter what state you're in. Because seriously, if it's a federal holiday, you ain't had no problem with any kind of Memorial Day, Labor Day, what else? 4th of July, those days, federal holidays, everybody said, yay, let's do it. But when you do holidays like Martin Luther King, you do holidays like that, federal holidays is what I'm talking about, and Juneteenth. Now the feds say, hey, it's a federal holiday. If y'all want it off, they can get it with pay, and I guess the feds will pay them. But now with those two holidays, y'all like, well, we'll acknowledge it, but with some stipulations, right? Like, if you want it, it could be a floating holiday. We all got a floating holiday. It could be a floating holiday if you want to take it. If you want to take a personal day, you can make it. You can do it as a personal day, but it won't be something that everybody can be out. Only if you choose to, and probably because a lot of people probably wish slavery never ended in the first place. Sales bill is scheduled to be in an Alabama House Committee on Wednesday afternoon. I guess that was a couple of days ago. So that's it, man. Like I say, I don't understand it. Like I say, the people, the losers, like I say, never get the accolades or the celebration. Never do. It's always the winners. The winners write the story. So they let you know that the winners are allowing this stuff, have allowed this stuff for decades, and probably have no intentions on changing it, which is sad. But hell, it just shows us where we are and how we need to maneuver. Stop sitting here thinking that reparations is just gonna come because you asked for it. It's gonna take something. It's gonna take some work. I'm not sure exactly what needs to be done and to what extent, but you're going to have to take it to a level that they feel that you won't take it to. Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you got to do something to prove a point, people, and you can't be afraid of the consequences, especially if everybody does it. I mean, if it's as simple as, hey, you are a Democratic president. Most of these cities now are ran by Democratic mayors and got Democratic governors. But as a president and your cabinet, I'm gonna need you to make these states get rid of these Confederate holidays. I mean, you can do it. You can do it. You can sit here and tell these states, hey, if you don't back a certain thing. You tell these school districts, if you don't meet this certain criteria, we won't give you federal funding. It's gonna make them schools move, right? That's why you got a lot of schools closing down. That's why you got some kids not even going to public schools. They're going to maybe more private schools or homeschooling. But that's just what's got to happen. And I mean, you can't be afraid of what the consequence is going to be. So you should be able to say, hey, and as a people, we should be able to say, hey, y'all don't get rid of this Confederate stuff. Forget all this. We're not going to put a whole lot of work in. This is what's going to happen. Get it done by the next election, or we'll make doggone sure that every state and every city in this country turns red. Period. That's all you got to do, especially in the South, because South is too many black folks in the South. The majority of black people live in the South, so especially down here. So we can make anything possible down here with that, going down there to that ballot box, get your voter registration card, or become registered to vote. Take you out, get your government ID that you can order. Probably can do it online, real easy, and go down there and just say, hey, I'll vote for anybody. I ain't talking about I ain't talking about no couch. I mean, the couch is good for certain things, and voting for certain parties are good for certain things. And something like this, like I said, sometimes you got to do drastic measures, because if you don't vote, then, and if they still win, then it'll be like, well, we don't need you. And since we're getting these migrants up in here, we most definitely not going to need you soon. So stay home if you want to. And then you have people say, oh my God, I'm sorry, master. I'm sorry, boss man. I'll go back down there and vote. That I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what I thought. All these crazy, ungrateful black people, they made me do it. They tricked me. I would never vote against you again, ever again. No. People like that, you let them folk die off. But for the younger people, teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, man, go ahead and you say, we need this Confederate mess out of my face. If it's not, then I'm gonna go ahead and vote red. And you probably saying, well, how does that make sense? Because if you vote red, then that means they doggone sure not gonna get rid of the Confederate stuff. Point exactly. So if you're gonna have one statue here, you might well put up 50. It don't matter, right? It don't even matter. You got one school with a named after a Confederate general. Make them all Confederate general schools. Simple as that. It don't even care, because it's like, shoot, y'all don't care, so we don't care. We just gonna fend for ourselves. We're gonna vote y'all out, and then we're gonna all band together and fend for ourselves. As simple as that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. You know how we do around here. We have a dialogue, intelligent conversation. Support the channel. 4 ways you can support it. Non-monetary. You can like, share, comment, and subscribe. Cost you no money. Just may take, a couple of minutes out your day. Helps boost the channel. Helps boost these videos in the algorithm, so you can gain more support like that. If you do want to support monetarily, we got super chat, super thanks, and there are links in the description box that you can click where you can also support. But with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.